riziki na uhai wa binadamu. Uhai wa binadamu ni bora kuliko riziki. Ndugu yanapofanikiwa anza kumchukia na kujipa uwezo wa kuzuru maisha yake. Isiwe sababu ya kunyanyasa wenzio. Mafanikio yako isiwe sababu ya kunifungia ndoa yangu. Hakuna aliyekamilika duniani isipokuwa Mungu. Hakuna aliyekamilika duniani isipokuwa na wote marehemu watarajiwa. Wapo wapi Mwalimu Nyerere na Mobutu Sese Seko? Hakuna Chifu Pai na Chacha Wangwe waliokuwa na heshima na madaraka makubwa duniani leo hawapo. Mimi na wewe wapangaji tunanyanyasa naye. Ndoto ya mwenda kwa miguu kumiliki baskeli, na huyo mwenye baskeli anaotali atapata pikipiki. Ukipata pikipiki unatamani umiliki Corolla. Ukipewa Corolla unataka uwe na Prado. Hakuna aliyeweza kuishi na tamaa.
Ukitaka kujua baya silo sidangu, ulize materasi jua mefilwa. Watu wadogo huwa wana problem. Unapoa shambulia ile Kaisari mpe Kaisari ya Mungu pia mpe Mungu. Hypocrisie ça débile so. Ningine unapewa na cheo ya grande fan uona forma kama zero. Ekarara salima chipe. Sipias karezi. Kila musala shua. Papa na rafato brava kei papa munganika ndiga pochililia Mungu atakusaidia papa musose rutreda sabla
Ilinganishe riziki na uhai wa binadamu. Uhai wa binadamu ni bora kuliko riziki. Ndugu yanapofanikiwa anza kumchukia na kujipa uwezo wa kuzuru maisha yake. Justice ugaibula hakuna atakayeweza kuishi milele. Hakuna manipasi kwa kuwa na upendo. Usichokitaka utene wewe. Upitene mwenzo saisa international. Marima wamba hebu tukumbuke. Hakuna atakayeweza kuishi milele. Hebu tukumbuke. Hakuna atakayeweza kuishi milele. Hakuna amani pasipokuwa na upendo. Kimari na UGANDA.
We don't have enough classrooms, but we are speaking with school heads so that additional desks can be added. In addition to wearing masks, precaution must be taken. This includes keeping social distance.
The government of Tanzania signed 3 loan agreements that have favorable terms with the French Development Agency worth 592.57 billion shillings for 3 of the 5th phase government's priority projects on power and water services.
Mheshimiwa Balozi, miradi yote mitatu ambayo tumesaini mikataba yake leo.
The 3 projects of which we've signed contracts today is in line with the development goals for Tanzania for 2025, geared to bring development to the country by 2025, and this is the 2nd phase of the 5-year development plan.
For now, more than 2 years, France has taken a very clear position in this country to make Tanzania a middle-income country to 2025. The country will make it. I can assure you, as French ambassador, that
These agreements reflect in an accurate way AFD's cooperation with Tanzania. Indeed, we are signing today 2 projects in the energy sector and 1 in the water and sanitation sector.
The government has urged top political party leaders in the country to ensure they prioritize national interests and not to be led by emotions that can breach national peace.
Tunazo tofauti zetu za kiitikadi.
We have differences in political affiliations and opinions. Peace and stability must nonetheless be maintained by all political parties. If there is no peace, no party will be able to stand. Everything that will be addressed in the meeting is what causes us to get a bad report for our parties. Hence the need to have such meetings to advise one another on how we can deal away with such defects.
Chama cha Mapinduzi kinasisitiza na kinapenda.
Chama cha Mapinduzi, CCM party, advocates for better communities through whichever party is on power, and we must therefore follow regulations in place. Government leaders is not what will help us to cross over safely in the general election, but our intentions and actions, meaning that justice is served.
The Regional Commissioner of Dar es Salaam, Paul Makonda, has urged residents of the city and Tanzania as a whole to be united, especially as the country heads towards the general election, and to avoid groups from inside and outside the country with the intention of disrupting peace.
I urge the people of Kinondoni and the people of Dar es Salaam to stand together. Development has no meaning if there is no peace. We will not be able to do any business. I know that small traders in Kinondoni have been issued with ID cards. This is a right to conduct your business without being harassed. This market is built from money given by Honorable President John Pombe Magufuli, 8,900,000,086. Work started early last year and should be completed at the end of this month or by mid-July.
Na mwaka jana mapema tukaanza utaratibu. Soko hili linamtakiwa kukamilika mwishoni mwa mwezi huu.
Over 1,200 residents of Mangamba Street at Mtwara Mkindani Municipal alleged to have invaded land for Mtwara Airport and set up residences have urged the government to intervene on the land dispute, stating that they are ready to leave if they are compensated. They have placed a beacon without notifying anyone. Neither have they notified the local government officers. I ask the government to help in this regard. The government should have pity on us. We are suffering so much. If you come to see where I'm living, it is ridiculous. Those affected by this should be allowed to stay for the moment. I will involve you in the process of establishing the rightful owner. That's all for the national news. International news is next. And now in international news. Burundi's new president, Evariste Ndayishimiye, has unveiled his cabinet of ministers comprising of only 15 ministers dominated by regime hardliners, such as the head of intelligence service. President Ndayishimiye took office earlier this month after the sudden death of veteran leader Pierre Nkurunziza. 88 Tanzanians who entered Uganda illegally through Lake Victoria have been deported in accordance with security procedures of the country. Among those deported include 82 men and 6 women.
Tanzanian nationals who had found their way to Lolwe Island in Namaingo district were returned to Tanzania for further management. You're all aware that our borders are still closed. Therefore, movement of persons between our country and the neighboring countries is still prohibited. Now, we got information at around 11 p.m., that is at night, at Mwango landing site, which is in Lolwe Island, Namaingo district. 88 Tanzanians, who comprised of 82 men and 6 women, were ordered to return to Tanzania by our district security task force.
1 Congolese and 1 Kenyan who had forged the results. Our officers were keen and they identified them. We have since established that they were helped by clearing agents, and we called upon the authorities to ensure that these clearing agents are reprimanded to the level of withdrawal of their certificates.
2 days after an attack by rebels from Burundi in some parts of Nyarugusu district was foiled by soldiers from the Rwandan Defense Force, residents from Ruheru have commended measures taken to strengthen security in the area.
Some of them were wearing Burundi army uniforms. We are not in fear of our safety. We have enough officers.
No, the security situation is very calm.
The security situation is very calm and people are safe. And they know nothing bad can occur where the army is present. So there is no problem. Our force has succeeded in killing 4 rebels, and we are detaining 3 others who are being detained.
Kenya's Health Cabinet Secretary Rashid Aman has announced 120 new cases of coronavirus in Kenya, bringing the total to 6,190. The patients are from 2,221 samples tested in the last 24 hours. 115 of the new cases are Kenyans, while 5 are foreigners.
Today we have 120 people who have tested positive for COVID-19. This is from a sample size of 2,221. It was tested over the past 24 hours. The total caseload in the country now stands at 6,190. And the total number of samples tested at 167,417.
The way of fighting stigma, it is not important that we know how many bishops have turned positive, how many judges have turned positive. We've urged again and again individual responsibility. The numbers of parliamentarians who have turned positive is not going to help you not turn positive. Whether you are going to follow them in their gatherings is upon you. We've told you again and again, the person standing next to you who does not be positive, including those parliamentarians. So it is individual responsibility. If you think they are in gatherings that have been prohibited, why don't you avoid them yourselves?
That's where we leave off with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And now in business news. Trading at the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange has shown a growing trend of more investors buying treasury bills in order to avoid losses in investment projects.
When some invest in bonds, it is for a certain period at a certain percentage. So when one weighs, he finds that it is better to invest in bonds and not in shares, whereby the price fluctuates. So we've seen this change on how people are investing.
Tanzania Private Sector Foundation TPSF has called on youth in the country, including Songwe region, to use business and investment opportunities in various regions in order to speed up economic and social development.
This forum has been organized by the youth with great vision, and usually a vision such as this is started by just a few people. And in this case, it was also done by a few people. I commend you. If young people of Songwe understand this opportunity well, then you will fully utilize it. We have a workshop for the youth of Songwe so they can identify opportunities in Songwe, such as in agriculture and in arts.
Tanzania Shipping Company has been directed to not charge more than 27,000 shillings for 1 ton of bananas transported by MV Victoria Hapakazi-2 vessel from Bukoba to Mwanza. This is so as to make costs more affordable to people.
This will open up more opportunities economically. Our economy will now be restored because this ship will bring back economic environment to a better condition.
And that's all for business. Sports news is next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose to Lent.
And now let's look at the latest in sports news. KAGERA Sugar have done their last training this morning prior to their TFF Cup quarter-final game against Yanga, which will be played tomorrow at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
Ni mchezo mgumu. Kwanza ukiangalia timu unaocheza nayo, tunacheza na timu moja kubwa.
It's going to be a tough game. First, considering the team we are playing against, we are playing a big team in Tanzania. They are second and above us in the Premier League table. So we know how tough the match will be. We know it will be a hard game, but we are prepared so we can go to the semi-finals.
Kwa kikubwa kumwomba tu Mungu awajalie kesho waamke wako vizuri.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has urged residents of Lindi to show up at the Majaliwa Stadium and cheer for their club, Namungo FC, when it faces the new Premier League champions Simba Sports Club on July 8th.
So you should come on the 8th to cheer for our team Namungo. On the 30th, Alliance will come from Mwanza for the FA Cup, where the way we are now, if we can't reach the finals, then we won't be able to do so anymore this year.
Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes team will run an all-black livery on their cars this season in a defiant message against racism.
The reigning Constructors' champions have traditionally raced in silver, but will adopt the powerful look for the delayed campaign which begins in Austria this weekend. Hamilton will open his title defense at the Red Bull Ring on the back of a row with the sport's former Supremo Bernie Eccleston, who during a recent TV interview said a lot of black people are more racist than white people. The six-time world champion described Eccleston's remarks as sad and disappointing. Hamilton has been vocal about the Black Lives Matter movement and said he was overcome by rage following the killing of George Floyd by white policemen.
Juventus have confirmed that veterans Giorgio Chiellini and Gianluigi Buffon have both signed contract extensions with the club. Here are more details.
The Serie A leaders have awarded the pair deals that will stretch until June 2021, by which time Buffon will be 43 and Chiellini will be close to celebrating his 37th birthday. Juventus have indicated that the contracts are a reward for the long-term loyalty and quality of the pair. Although both have been legendary figures in the history of the Turin side, neither has played a significant role in the 2019-2020 campaign.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer expects Angel Gomes to leave Manchester United on June 30th after failing to agree to a new contract with the midfielder.
The teenager was offered a new deal, but Gomes and his representatives have failed to come to an agreement, and the 19-year-old is set to leave the club on a free transfer. Solskjaer had said just last week he was hopeful terms could be agreed to keep the midfielder at the club, but the United manager had changed his tune ahead of the team's trip to Brighton in the Premier League. Asked if Gomes will be staying at the club, Solskjaer replied, "I've got no news, nothing, so it doesn't look like it."
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.